Are you having weed problems? Are the weeds taking over your yard? You try everything, magic juices, magic killers, and they still come back all the time. Well, in today's episode, I'm going to be showing you the most effective way to actually get rid of the weeds permanently forever. Yes, I'm going to be showing you the not so easy way, and I'm going to be showing you an easy way as well. That is not really permanent, but guess what? It really doesn't take that long to actually do it. So if you're wondering how, well, stick to the end. All right, guys, so weeds are part of any gardener's life. They're gonna come up all the time, whether you like it or not. If you're lazy like I am, guess what happens? When you don't take care of them soon enough, they're gonna flower, they're gonna seed out, the seeds fall to the ground, and if you are a good gardener, well, you probably got water going on all over your yard, so the seeds are gonna sprout, and these weeds right here are gonna take over your yard. It's an issue that we're all gonna be dealing with forever, until the end of times. But I found out one quick way, actually not so quick way, to get rid of them permanently. And that is using the hori knife. This is a magical knife right here. Just like magical juices, this is a magical knife. This will take care of your weeds forever and ever. But check this out. It's gonna take some effort from you. Yes, you're gonna have to get on your knees, you're gonna have to crouch down, and you're gonna have to get those weeds. And I'm gonna be showing you how. And how I use this knife right here to actually take care of the weeds in my yard. Not all of them, because it will take forever to do all of them with this knife right here, but especially the ones in the containers. So let's say you have plants, and they've been in the containers for a little while. One thing that's going to happen sooner or later is you're going to get weeds, whether you like it or not. But that's when the hori knife comes into play. Check this out. This knife right here is serrated on one side. It has a smooth edge on the other side, and also has like a spade tip over here, so it goes into the ground very easily. So let's say you got weeds in your containers like this. Well, there's one way you can actually take them out. You can either pull them. Sometimes they'll come right out, but you know what? Sometimes it's a little harder to get them out, so you're gonna have to have a little help. So the reason I like this knife really good is because I can actually go around the weed and I can just cut the roots, because some weeds are vicious and they'll root out the entire container. And if you try to pull them, it will actually try to pull your entire plant with it. So with the hori knife, that takes care of the problem without any issues at all. Look at that. The whole thing comes out. Then what you can do is you can shake it up, and then you can put your dirt back in there. And that's why I love the hori knife. So here we got more weeds. You can get your knife in there and you can just pop them right up, just like that. Look at that. And they come right out. Let's say you got bigger weeds, like this cluster over here. Well, you can try pulling them out one by one, just like this. And this knife actually will make your life a lot easier. You can just dig in the ground, and then you can just cut around the actual weed, just like this. And some weeds, they have a very fibrous root system, so by cutting around, you are actually loosening up that root ball. And then what you can do is you can stick the spaded part of the hori into the ground, and then you can pull up, just like this. And just like that, your weeds are out. Here, let's get some more weeds over here. Look at that. So this soil, this side over here, it's a little harder. So I gotta use it like a little shovel. Boom. And it comes right out, just like that. So the hori knife is my weapon of choice when dealing with weeds, especially those weeds that grow in the containers, or if I have big weeds that I'm really trying to pull the entire root ball out of the ground. This tool right here makes it super easy to do. Now, one thing, guys, I'm gonna tell you is there's no magical weed killers out there. They're gonna be efficient forever. Nothing is going to beat you getting on your knees and actually getting rid of the weeds by hand. One of the recommendations that I have for you is do not be lazy like I am, and actually keep up with the weed eating around your house, because the longer you wait, the harder it's going to be for you to take care of them. As you can see, I've been working on this bed right here. This is completely clear. Now I'm starting on this area right here, and the hori knife actually makes it a lot easier to actually get in there and then pull the grass up without damaging all the plants around it. So, because grass, especially Bermuda grass, is gonna be one of the hardest things, weeds, that you're gonna have to get rid of in your garden. Here in my area, this is your nemesis, Bermuda grass. I know it's gonna depend on which area you live in, but actually getting on your knees and pulling the weeds by hand is gonna be the most efficient way to actually get rid of them and the longest lasting method of weed eating. I know some of you guys want to use chemicals because when you have a big yard and you want to weed your entire area, it may seem daunting, especially when you get started, because it's never ending. This stuff right here, it's gonna come back, especially if you don't get the roots. And the problem with this Bermuda grass right here is it has one of the longest roots that I've seen on any type of grass out there. I've seen roots, Bermuda roots, as long as 6 feet long, especially when you mulch the yard and then you think the mulch is actually gonna take care of your weeds. No, it's not. It's actually gonna make it a lot harder for you to take care of those weeds. But as you can see over here, I'm using the hori knife to cut the roots around that grass stump in there, so that way I can pull it. Look at those freaking roots in there, they're huge. So anyways, yeah, so this knife right here makes it so much easier to pull all these weeds. There's really nothing else that you can do that's permanently going to take care of them besides using chemicals. I know a lot of you guys are gonna resort to getting weed killers and then go full chemical on the weeds in your yard. But I can tell you one of the benefits of growing your own fruits and vegetables and actually your own food in your yard is you know exactly what's going into the ground. You know it has less chemicals than anything else that you're gonna be able to purchase at the store. So why ruin all that by spraying weed killers simply because you're lazy, you don't wanna get on your knees and then take care of the weeds? I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm lazy. And usually I have helpers that help me take care of these weeds right here, because this is one of the things that I hate doing. But you know what? If you don't like doing something, just get somebody else to do it for you. I actually featured this bed in one of my videos just a few months ago. And if you actually watch that video, you can see this bed was nice looking and weed free. And I actually put cardboard down here, and the cardboard is nowhere to be seen. Look, I'm digging in here and it has completely disintegrated. And it only has been, I would say, maybe 6 months since I made that video, and then the cardboard is gone and the grass is growing right through it. So when you're using cardboard to actually minimize the weeds, I can tell you it's not an effective way for long term. The cardboard method is only a good way. It's only good if you're trying to quickly make an area look nice and you don't really care about longevity, because guess what? It's going to break down very fast, especially if you water the area. And you can see there's no cardboard anywhere. And if you actually watch that video that I posted a few months ago, all this here was full of cardboard. And I had a thick layer of mulch as well. And as you can see, it has been breaking down over the months. And then, yeah, and my sweet potato vines, most of them died in the winter because, well, sweet potatoes are frost sensitive in my area. And if you don't protect them, well, guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna die. But this guy's over here made it, and they're gonna start growing soon, and they should be able to cover the entire bed. So mostly in small areas, I use the hori knife because that's a quick way to actually take care of the weeds, as you saw in that bed. But in bigger areas, especially if you have a large area you wanna take care of the weeds, I can tell you there's nothing out there that you can do to actually take care of the weeds other than the trusty weed eater right here. Now, by using a weed eater, you are assuring the weeds are coming back. That's a given, because what you're actually doing, you're spreading all the seeds all the way around, all around the area, and the weeds are gonna come back. So whenever you use a weed eater, just keep in mind, it's a quick way to take care of them, but it's not a permanent way, like actually getting on your knees and pulling them by hand. But there's just no possible way I'm gonna get on my knees and pull all these freaking weeds by hand. It will take me freaking days, and it'll be non-stop, never-ending weed eating by hand. If I was on my knees pulling them by hand, that would have taken me at least an hour. Now let's go ahead and talk about the next method to actually take care of your weeds around your home. Now you see this area right here. I'm gonna go ahead and use a weed eater in this area, but not right now. What I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna get some vinegar. I'm gonna spray along the edges right here. You see all those cracks where the weeds are coming out in the grass? I'm gonna spray that with vinegar. What vinegar will do is actually, it will burn the foliage. It will burn it down, flush to the ground. Now what vinegar will not do is kill the roots, but vinegar is an organic way to actually take care of your weeds around your home. The problem with vinegar though is you're gonna have to do it very frequently. Like in this area right here, I'm only gonna be killing the foliage, so the root system is gonna still be alive, and they're gonna come back in about a week to 2 weeks. So if I wanna keep the area nice looking with minimal effort, I'm gonna have to spray this area here weekly. So the vinegar that I use, it's on the screen right now. And the backpack that I use, it's on the screen as well. So what I usually do, I mix 50-50 ratio. So 50% vinegar, 50% water. And then and then I put about a gallon, I put about a teaspoon of soap, any soap, dish soap, per gallon of water. And what the soap does, it actually allows the vinegar to stick to the foliage of to the leaves, stick to the leaves of the weeds longer, so that way it does its thing. Another method that I've seen people use to kill weeds around their home is salt. You can spread salt around the soil, and that will kill the actual root system of everything in that area. I do not use salt simply because, well, I want to grow plants in those areas eventually. Salt will actually sterilize that area for a very long time, and the only way to actually grow anything in that area again is by flushing the soil many times until you completely dissolve all the salts in that area, so that way you can grow something once again. But like I said, I do not use salt, but if you want to get rid of weeds permanently in an area with minimal effort, all you gotta do is just dump salt in that area. Like for me, salt will be a good choice for this area right here in between the pavers, because I know I'm not gonna be growing any plants in there. So what you can do is you can actually get some table salt, you can dump it in there, maybe where the concrete meets the pavers, put salt in there, and that will take care of all the weeds in that area. And lastly, there is no permanent solution for weeds, guys. Anytime that you grow anything, you're gonna have to take care of the weeds, either by hand, or using a weed eater, or using organic ways to actually manage them. If you actually want to resort to weed killers, chemical ones, I do not recommend them, because I don't care what the labels say. I can tell you those chemicals will go into your soil, your plants are gonna eat it, and especially if you have edibles in your yard, those chemicals are gonna go into the fruits and vegetables that you are actually eating, defeating the purpose of actually growing your own food. And like I said earlier, the Hori knife is one of the new additions to my weed killing tool arsenal, and it works amazing. So for any of these tools, if you're interested in any of them, I got affiliate links in the description so you can see the stuff that I use here on my property. But anyways, guys, as always, if you have any questions, comment below. If you haven't liked the video, what are you waiting for? And I will see you next time.